Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Young Justice Season 4, Episode 21 review of Odyssey of Death! Exclamation point. I'm Cousin Cheeto of NerdTube. Let's get right into it. Sorry, it's been a crazy, crazy couple days. My brother's getting married, so I took a little bit of time out to watch the episode, take some notes. This might be a pretty brief review, but hopefully everyone's having a good weekend, and I apologize for my tardiness. So we start off in the bayou where one of the gypsy lady, I can't remember her name right now, and I didn't write it down. It was Lady something. Lady Belladonna? I don't remember. Anyway, she was in the bayous using magic, trying to track Connor's soul. Didn't work, so we then go over to Zatanna, where her and Dr. Fate are standing. So Dr. Fate, they do the exchange, the Fate exchange, where Zatara, took the helmet off, and Zatanna then put the helmet on, and that's kind of what we got from there. I mean, she was basically saying she knows somebody who can figure out where Connor is because she still thinks he's dead, and his soul's not at rest, quote unquote. Okay. Then we go to the Legion of Superheroes Bioship. They're traveling through subspace, so very Star Trek of them, or Space Trek in this universe. And they just basically say, "What do we do when we get there?" And they said, "Well, we're just kind of making it up as we go because they're trying to track down more Zod." And I'm pretty sure they're on their way to New Genesis at that point. Okay, so we pick up right where we left off from last week, where Mantis and Zod and what's his nuts, Mahalafaak, probably saying it wrong. They have the Phantom Projector. It is not charged, but so that then they tell Bioship, or not Bioship, the temporal dome or whatever, to take them back into the real world or whatever, out of phase, whatever they do. And it's damaged, and so they can't use it anymore. But they said, well, there's more victories and losses here, so now they have to find a power source for the Phantom Zone projector because it's dead. And so they leave the dome, the time sphere, whatever you want to call it. I think it was called time sphere, and they go off. Rocket and team then show up, and they're getting really snippy with Metron. They're just like, "Look, we have no idea why we're doing this." And Metron's like, don't have time to explain," and blah 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 blah. Typical manufactured tension shit. Metron's like, "I can't explain to you. It'd take too much time. Fate of the universe is on the line." Blah blah blah. So we then go to, so they're tracking them down. Metron does a scan of the time sphere, finds out that they need, that it's busted. However, that the Phantom Zone projector needs power. They figure that out. So then they start dispatching defenses all over the planet to any energy sources that they might be able to use. I believe at this point we go into the Phantom Zone where we see a little bit more of General Zod talking to his wife about how Connor's got a strong spirit because he can, because he's keeping up with whatever the other dude's name is. I don't know what his name was, but he's a big dude. He has a lot of spirit. He can keep up with the whatever. So I mean, I don't think he knows that this is like Superboy, which is also which is connected to Superman, which is connected to Kal-El. If that were the case, then there probably would be a lot more issues. But I'm pretty sure that they don't know this. We go back into the real world then, and we see I wrote it down as Team Rocket, like from Pokemon. Team Rocket, which is Rocket, Orion, Forager and She-Forager, and who was the other one there? There was one more, Jay Garrick. So they're and Tomare. So they're trying to. They're going to one of the places, and they find where they're soaking up all the energy. It's like some lake of fire, lake of something or other. I don't know. Probably has to do with what lies beneath. And so they engage in battle. So they're all fighting. But what happens is throughout this battle, they wake up a Promethean. So me being not hugely DC, I mean I know of I'm not DC expert. I don't know what a Promethean is, but it looks like a big giant rock monster that comes out of the ground, and it looks like it's probably kind of like a celestial in Marvel. So, holy shit. It starts to shoot a sky beam up in the air. Um, and so what happens is Tomore does like a funnel into space, which is good. It kind of because what happens is if the Promethean's basically going to just like wipe out the entire planet, incinerate the atmosphere. I think is what it said. His ring said. I made it 5 minutes. Okay, and it's also during the day, so it's a little bit different. So they're taking care of the skybeam. Rocket and Orion are taking on Mahala Fa'ak, which is kind of like a mindscape battle where we go back to the first episode where Orion's kind of trapped in the bubble and Lightbeam guy is saying, "Oh, you can't." He's saying the opposite now. You can't let him out. He's a danger. Have you seen him? He's a spawn of Darkseid. And then she finally comes around to the fact she's like, "No, he's not. That he needs help. He's not a monster. Blah blah blah." So she lets him out, and then slow mo everything, and she does the whole "I see you" thing, and then Orion basically is able to come out of it and blasts Mahala Fa'ak out. So we move. There's more battles going on. The Kaiser, not the Kaiser Thrall, the Kaiser box, whatever it's called, is taking out Jay Garrick. And so what happens is the Foragers come in and save Jay Garrick. Jay Garrick goes and forms in the midst of all of this, the Phantom Zone projector opens up, opens up a portal and is looking for General Zod. Only him though. So it only locks on to him, and it goes and so everyone who tries to like escape or go with him, it basically says, "No, you are not him. No, you are not." Superboy grabs onto him, and he's just like, "Wait a minute. So the Kryptonians didn't put you in the Phantom Zone, so because it doesn't recognize your DNA." So the wind is going on and everything like that, trying to stall whoever it's trying to pull out. You have Orion then battling Lorzod in a battle, and Lorzod gets angry because or he's trying to distract people. So what he does is Lorzod is he shoots in his eye beams in the back of Tomare, and he puts a shield up, but then his willpower cannot hold the shield back, the Kryptonian eye beams back, as well as hold the funnel because there's just so much energy on both ends. So Tomare does the self-sacrifice play. He says never again, and it's like at 91% disbursement at this point, so it's almost there. He lets down the back shield, and he continues that, and then he takes 2 eye beams through the back, up through to the chest, and so Tomare is dead. So that sucks because I really liked him. We didn't get a lot of time with him, but I liked him. And he's a very popular. I mean, I've seen him he was in the movie. I've seen him a lot in in DC's past. Like, he's been around. He's probably one of the. I mean, there's besides the main Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, John Stewart. Like, he's one of probably the main 3 that everybody knows. Kilowog and Tomare, and I think there's a squirrel. That's one. That's one I always think of. Anyway, back on track. So yeah, the Kaiser Thrall or Kaiser Box, whatever you want to call it, is taking down the Foragers right now. And what happens is Tomare's ring goes to She-Forager, and so then we get the whole speak my motto or whatever, in brightest day and darkest night, blah blah blah, and then Forager becomes a She-Forager becomes a Green Lantern. I'm not iffy, but I'm kind of indifferent on this because I like the fact that we're getting like a new character Green Lantern that's debuting in the show. I kind of wanted it to be Forager, like, you know, for that this would be the next stage in Forager's arc, and he doesn't have to be a Green Lantern on Earth. Like I think Forager's kind of come full circle with his story arc, and especially if he became a Green Lantern, I feel like he would that would kind of be like his story arc. And not that I don't want Forager on the show anymore, but I kind of feel like that would have been like the conclusion of his arc as he becomes a Green Lantern, and he, you know, just becomes a, you know, a beat cop, like, you know, like a galactic beat cop. He goes from being this lonely, picked on bug on New Genesis to a, you know, a Green Lantern, an awesome Green Lantern. So I'm indifferent. I kind of, as I said, I kind of wish that they would have given it to Forager, not She Forager, but it's okay. It's all right. I'll get over it. Orion and Zod are going at it at that point, but um, somebody destroys a Phantom Zone projector. I didn't write it down. I'm trying to remember who, but yeah, the Phantom Zone projector is destroyed. And so then Zod and Superboy are lunged the back into the Phantom Zone. Like they were almost out, and then now they're back in. Like they're back in all the way. Saturn Girl's able to make psychic contact with the Phantom Girl, and she's able to wake her up in the Phantom Zone with using her psychic powers. And so the Phantom Zone exit closes. And so Zod, of course, goes crazy, and you know, Orion's apprehending him. So yeah, so Lorazad, Mantis, Mahalafa'ak, I think they're all apprehended at this point. We have a nice little montage of Kilowog coming in and finding, like, you know, Tomare, and nice little Crisis on Infinite Earths, you know, with Superman and Supergirl, you know, the Superman and Supergirl on the front, you know, on the page, with Kilowog and what's his face, Tomare, and you know, everything's just wrapping up rather nicely. I did enjoy this ending. We have a nice little moment between Rocket and Orion where Orion is like, "Thank you for seeing me." And then Rocket kind of goes through her own stuff with her son and everything like that, and that's really nice to see some character growth. This is what I wanted from this arc, because I wanted to know more about Rocket. I wanted to see some growth from her, and this is, especially in this episode, this is kind of what we got. I kind of felt like Rocket was kind of like a B character throughout most of these episodes, but this one she did feel more like a up in front main A character. So I'm very glad we got that. Metron takes a time sphere and puts it in his vault, and you know, Forager and She Forager, or Green Lantern She Forager, you know, just have some final goodbyes. She Forager is now going as a probationary Green Lantern with Kilowog, and so, you know, she's going to start her training, and Forager is going to go back to Earth. At the end, I forgot, sorry. Zod was able to get away from Orion. Yeah, that's right. Zod did get away. Zod got away. He jumped up, he infiltrated Bioship, grabbed Saturn Girl, and said, "I will snap her neck if you guys don't take me out of here." So Bart Allen, Impulse, well, Kid Flash now, whatever you want to call him, and Metamorpho Boy or something like that. You know, so they, of course, had to leave with Bioship, Zod. So Zod did get away. Zod got away, and Zod got away, and with, you know, a Bioship. So we're going to see more of that. And then we get a little bit of a tease at the end. We have all the magic users from, you know, the Young Justice mythos kind of gathering together, and they're going to ring the bell of whatever, the dinner bell for Connor. I don't know. But this bell in Dr. Fate's tower in Salem. And so they ring the bell, and Connor doesn't show up. They don't even get any inkling. And so Zatanna is then talking to Nabu in the Mindscape or whatever, basically saying, "I can't believe it can't fail." And then Zatanna's like, maybe because he's find his final. Nabu says maybe because he's found his final rest, and Zatanna's like, "Actually, I wonder if he's not dead at all." And she's like, "I don't need magic to find him. I need a detective." Ba ba ba. Nightwing, baby, next week. Yeah, I've been excited for Nightwing, which I should have known it would be the last arc of this. It would have been Nightwing, but I mean, it'll probably be the next 5 episodes because we got 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So yeah, 5 episodes. So the Zatanna arc was 5 episodes. I'm guessing the Nightwing arc will be 5 episodes. Probably in the culmination at the very end of the last episode will probably be everybody from all the arcs coming together and defeating Zod, bringing Connor back. What else is going on this season? I don't think there's really much else besides those two things. Zod's arc with the Legion of Superheroes and everything like that, and then Connor, General Zod. I don't feel like that's really. I feel like General Zod and Lord Zod are going to be the main villains at the very end of this thing. So, I hope General Zod gets out of the Phantom Zone sooner rather than later, just so that we can build on his arc, like Zod's arc. I don't want the last episode to be General Zod coming back and then they have to beat him and then they do. But we'll probably get Connor back. That'll be great. And yeah, so yeah, Nightwing next week. So I apologize. I know this has been a bit scatterbrained. As I said, I took some time out. I really wanted to watch this and I really wanted to get this review out because it was the last of the Rocket arc. I really enjoyed it. And I really feel like that things are ramping up for the end, and it's kind of getting very Young Justice-y. I go back and forth with this season all the time because sometimes I'm like, okay, it's kind of doing a different thing, and other times I'm like, yeah, I'm really digging it. Yeah, like this episode, I was really digging it. But like the past couple episodes, I'm kind of like, it's okay. Like it's pretty good. But I know season 1 of Young Justice was a breakneck pace. Every single episode was something crazy going on. So I do appreciate that they're expanding on the Young Justice universe lore and everything like that with this season. And I know it shouldn't really be about those core 6 members that are in the intro, or 7 in the intro. But I love those characters. I want those characters every episode. So I know I'm being a selfish nerd. And I should, let them take me on the ride, the story arc and the rides that they want to take me on. I mean, look, they listened to the fans. Last season, the intro sucked, and this year we got, like, the best Young Justice intro ever, in my opinion. So, yeah. Anyway, with that all being said, thank you very much for watching. If you have not already, please consider subscribing to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you've kind of maybe sort of heard of. We do reviews. We do discussions. We do just tons of stuff. We do stuff on Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Star Trek, Final Fantasy, gaming things, anything. I mean, we try to hit all our favorite things. If it's on this channel, it's some of our favorite things. So you're definitely going to get passionate nerds in that department. Everybody, have a great weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Catch you later.